everybody. I'm taking you on a journey with me today. It is Saturday and it's beautiful out and I'm so excited to be out in the world and not have to go to work. So I'm going to the used bookstore, a local used bookstore that I've actually only been to once, despite having been in this area for 5 years. But I've only been here once because it wasn't on the bus routes and I didn't have a car until a year ago. The first time I went was on my birthday in April, and now I'm going again. And I'm really excited. It's a massive, massive used bookstore in Hadley, Massachusetts, called Gray Matter Books, and it's just big and beautiful. Like, just the art section is as big as other entire used bookstores that I've seen. It's just a huge, huge bookstore, and I'm gonna try to find really, really cheap books and keep it under $20 because that seems like a fun thing. And I'm just gonna see what I find. So I'll be taking you with me and I hope you like it.
Somebody please tell him who the F I is. I am Nicki Minaj, I'm that producer. That coops up and truck the user.
So I've officially arrived at the bookstore. It was a very short drive for someone like me, very used to driving very long distances to get places. I'm very excited. I'm ready to go in. Let's go. I'm really happy. I got 3 books. it wasn't really what I was expecting. When I went in, what I was looking for mostly was nonfiction essays, like authors who write collections of essays about real life, and that's what I've been interested in lately. And there just wasn't a section for that. Also, weird thing, there was no young adult section. There was a children's section, and then the young adult literature was like mixed in with adult fiction and literature, which was just like a really weird thing, in my opinion. It was kind of messy, but it's so big. Like, it's worth the whole experience of having to sift through all kinds of crap to find books, like empty boxes everywhere, stacks of books on the ground, there are chairs in the way. It's like not a very well formed store, but the selection is beautiful. I also asked where the biography section was because I couldn't find it, and they said we don't have a biography section, and that it's just mixed in with whatever that person did. So if that person was a philosopher, then it's not in the biography section, it's in the philosophy section. If that person's a writer, then it's with their works in the literature section, which I just found really weird, and made it really hard because I was like, I was thinking maybe I want a biography, that would be interesting because I'm kind of on a nonfiction kick, and then they just didn't have a section, and so I couldn't just browse biographies, which was really weird in my opinion. But it's such a massive store and such a huge collection that I kind of forgive them. So I guess now I can show you the books I got. I only got 3. The first was like a given for me when I saw it. It's The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. I'm on a huge Malcolm Gladwell kick. I'm listening to David and Goliath as an audiobook at work, and I have listened to all of his podcast, Revisionist History, and now I'm listening to it as it comes out. And like, I listened to the whole backlog of Revisionist History in like 2 weeks. I kind of blew through it because it's so good. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I definitely want that, and I still want Blink. And then I think those are his only 3 books at this point. The next one I got, this one caught my eye. I had never heard of it, and a lot of times books catch my eye and I just want them right away, but I don't let myself buy them if I haven't heard of them, or if I'm not already excited for them, unless they're really short, because I know that if I go to my bookshelf and I have a bunch of books that like intrigued me at the time but are pretty long, then I'm more likely to pick up books that I know what they're about and I'm excited about them. So this one is like an award-winning Japanese book translated into English, and it's only like 115 pages. And so I was like, when I want like a toss-up or a wild card, this is definitely a book that is like almost guaranteed amazing because it like won so many awards. It's an international bestseller and it's super short, and so I can definitely see myself actually picking this up, which is a good thing. And then lastly, I got Full Woman, Fleshly Apple, Hot Moon by Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda. Oh shit, it's too light. By Pablo Neruda. And I'm really excited for it. I have right now Captain's Verses that I'm trying to dive into, and I just feel pretty confident that I'm going to like these books. So I feel pretty good about just buying them, not really knowing much about them and not really having any experience with the author. So that's what I got. I'm gonna try to stop and get a drink at McDonald's on my way home, but that's it. And I'm pretty excited. I'm dying to get out of this reading slump that I'm in. I'm in a horrid reading slump. I haven't felt like reading since the beginning of this month. It's kind of terrible, which is why I went through all of Revisionist History. I've like been listening to podcasts instead of reading, which is really, really weird for me. So I would I'd really like to get back to my reading, reading as I planned. And so I've added 3 books to my TBR shelf backlog, but hopefully one of them will be appealing enough to me that I actually dive in headfirst and get hooked.